So let's get a little bit spiritual and scientific. If you know me, I have both my Western as well as my Eastern educations, and I love to bring them together. In this particular case, I want to talk about quantum physics as well as consciousness and how they actually relate to each other and they come together. Okay, this is about to get very scientific very fast, so bear with me. If you need to, feel free at any time to pause and go back or just rewatch the video over and over and take some notes because again, the first time around you might be like, what? But there is a method to the madness, and once you click it, you get it, and it just makes sense from there. Okay. So the consciousness that humans experience is actually a smaller portion of consciousness that comes from the universal consciousness. This kind of is like a spoke on a wheel of a car type of theory. So when you have that type of relation to the world, you realize how vital your importance is in the world. In traditional physics, we recognize light as both a wave and a particle, and you can observe it as such. But in quantum physics, things work a little bit differently. In fact, people actually will see that during observing quantum physics, that it is completely unpredictable. It is not the 100% that you get from traditional physics. Now, as a result, your brain could actually be more of a quantum computer. This type of connection between the quantum physics and the consciousness just means that one influences others. So, it's a marriage, it's a relationship. And just like marriages and relationships, it can get kind of unpredictable what's going on. This kind of explains how light behaves as a particle or a wave, or in two completely different ways just based off of its observance. At the quantum level, the mere act of observing changes the fundamental state of light. It is as if nature and light knows that we're just looking at it, trying to spy on it, and it decides to change its state just at the act of looking at it, observing it. It clearly shows us that we do not live in an objective world and that we have an influence on the world as well as it has an influence on us. And that at nature, reality, it is completely just unpredictable, right? So, there is a theory that is relevant to this discussion, and it's known as the multi-world interpretations of the quantum physics. You've probably seen Marvel or some other type of multi-dimensional, multi-world film in the media, and this is where all of that comes from. It goes back to the fact that in multi-world interpretation of quantum physics, there's an infinite number of worlds or universes. So every choice that you've ever made or ever make will actually have a potentiality to it. This means if you focused on becoming a doctor your entire life, your active choices in relation with consciousness and relation with the world that you're in have moved you closer to becoming a doctor. Versus in other types of realms, you might have actually made different types of movement or energy focus towards a different profession, like a lawyer or a writer. This actuality causes potentiality. Okay, so why is this relevant? This is because your influence and your choices are based off your consciousness. And as such, you can dictate what type of reality you will experience. For instance, again, it goes down to professions, but it also can go down to different types of choices that go based off of the law of attraction. The law of attraction is super popular, especially in New Age, but it actually bases itself off of something way older, and that goes back to the quantum physics that I was referencing earlier. Okay, so just in case you're unaware of the law of attraction, it just states that whatever you choose to manifest in your life is what you pay attention to the most. And if you pay attention to negative things will happen. And if you pay attention to positive things will happen. Here, your consciousness leads to the quantum fluctuations in reality that shape your life accordingly. What you're paying attention to, the observation of the particle, the observation of light, the wave, all come into fruition whenever you're watching it. It's an influence. It's a relationship, once again. So, back to the understanding of quantum physics, consciousness, and the connection between the two is that it's not merely just a pursuit of knowledge. It directly affects your daily life, in and out, and has a particular aspect to it. So if you install the knowledge into your daily practice, you can actually start to bend your reality, which is what we see a lot in things like the Marvel series, is the actual manipulation of your reality that you live in. Now, you can do some spiritual practices to enhance that reality. You can do some spiritual practices to manifest, to work with quantum physics, to work with particle alignment, to work with wavelengths and consciousness, the law of attraction, as well as the other universal laws. If you're curious about that, go ahead and reach out to me. I am, again, a mentor, a coach, a guide, and I would love to work with you and even break this down even further. Again, I have 3 science degrees on the Western side, and I have my certifications and my experiences on the Eastern side. I will make it nitty gritty, I promise. All right.